Kat Torres, a charming Brazilian woman, gained immense popularity on social media. Millions of fans were fascinated by her life, while some openly envied her success. However, behind the perfect image, there was a far less attractive reality known only to a few. Kat was born on October 24, 1989, into a poor family in northern Brazil. She grew up in a disadvantaged neighborhood, and her father suffered from alcohol addiction. At the age of 12, the girl began to emphasize her beauty with bright red lipstick. A short haircut in the style of Coco Chanel added to her charm. Even then, people around her predicted Kat's successful career in the modeling business, showering her with compliments. A few years passed, and the young beauty, dreaming of financial independence, dared to send her application to a modeling agency. She was noticed instantly and invited to a photo shoot. After receiving her first paycheck, Kat left her parents' home without hesitation. When the girl turned 18, she had the opportunity to move to Europe, which she immediately agreed to. I am Kat Torres, a model and actress from Brazil. I currently work in Milan. I am a very positive person, so I always smile. In my opinion, life is beautiful, and we should constantly share a smile with the world. Kat's career skyrocketed. She posed for swimwear and lingerie advertisements, flew to South Korea and Colombia for shoots. Her face increasingly graced the covers of glossy magazines. Soon, the girl moved to America, where she began attending celebrity parties. Once, Kat was spotted in the company of famous actor Leonardo DiCaprio, about which the Brazilian press instantly spread rumors, claiming the couple had a short-lived romance that lasted no longer than a month. The year 2013 was marked by Kat's move to a luxurious apartment in New York with a panoramic view of the Statue of Liberty. Neighbors couldn't help but notice the girl's expensive designer clothes, exclusive bags, and precious jewelry. It became evident that Kat had found a wealthy patron. Close friends knew that the model was dating an influential Russian oligarch who fully provided for her and rented a chic apartment for his beloved. He showered Kat with gifts, including a watch encrusted with diamonds. At first, the girl avoided naming her benefactor, but later began calling him simply A. Once, Kat showed a photo of the oligarch to her closest friend, who described him as an eccentric old man. None of the model's acquaintances ever saw him in person. The girl flew to meet her lover in France and vacationed on his yacht. Occasionally, she visited Russia as well. Kat told her friends that she was head over heels in love with the billionaire and communicated with him daily on the phone. However, while in New York, Torres was bored. Meetings with the oligarch were infrequent. The model had affairs with other men who generously rewarded her for attention and passion. But everything changed when Kat discovered serious health problems that required urgent surgical intervention. The girl had breast implants, which were previously installed, removed. The recovery was long and exhausting. Men lost interest in Torres, and the Russian oligarch completely cut off all communication with her. Other admirers also vanished into thin air. After the surgery, Kat had to end her modeling career. She tried her hand at acting but to no avail. Acquaintance with the Hollywood elite led to Torres becoming fond of consuming ayahuasca, a drink prepared by shamans of Indian tribes for communicating with spirits. Kat became a frequent visitor to ceremonies where people sat on the floor and sang ritual songs. The model's friends believed that it was after these gatherings that the blonde began to have mental issues. Torres claimed that she had the gift of foresight since childhood, which she called her inner voice. The use of ayahuasca only strengthened her belief that she was special and chosen. Kat considered it her duty to help people. It was in America that Kat Torres' popularity on social media began to grow rapidly. She created her own brands, taught subscribers to lead a healthy lifestyle, attract love, money, and fulfill their wildest dreams. Kat's pages featured attractive photos, inspirational quotes, and useful advice. The girl traveled a lot and seemed to enjoy every moment. Millions followed her life. Soon, a young entrepreneur named Ben appeared in Torres' life, helping her develop her personal brand. The model wrote a motivational book titled The Voice, in which she spoke about her difficult childhood and abuse, about how she managed to escape the clutches of poverty and achieve success against all odds, how her dreams of a wealthy life became a reality. In 2017, Kat began conducting personal consultations with female clients. She motivated the girls, shared valuable advice, taught spiritual practices, helped them believe in themselves and unlock their inner potential. In advertising her services, Torres assured, "I can solve your problem, I can help you." Subscribers found solace in Kat's posts. Her online consultations resembled psychotherapy sessions. Torres skillfully chose the right words of support and gave apt advice. For one video meeting with Kat, clients paid about $150. Together with her beloved Ben, Torres visited various churches and was interested in religious practices. The girl was particularly fascinated by the famous Brazilian medium João de Deus, who was later accused of crimes and sentenced to almost 500 years in prison. Another idol of Kat's was American coach and trainer Tony Robbins. Torres dreamed of repeating his success. One of Kat's clients, Anna, shared her story. "I met Kat at a time when I was going through a painful breakup of an abusive relationship. I already had a difficult childhood behind me. I suffered from numerous health problems and fruitlessly knocked on doctors' doors. I lost a lot of weight, but no one could help me. I lost all hope and thought my life was over. That's when I came across Kat and clung to her like a lifeline." Anna was studying in Boston, Massachusetts. The girl said that Kat convinced her to move to New York and become her housekeeper. Torres wrote to Anna that she would have to take care of her cats, cook, clean the apartment, and do laundry. In return, Kat promised to pay $2,000 a month. After receiving the offer from Kat, Anna didn't hesitate for long and moved to New York. However, upon crossing the threshold of her new employer's apartment, the girl was shocked by what she saw. The place was in complete disarray, unnecessary things and dirty clothes were scattered everywhere, and cats shamelessly relieved themselves right on the model's bed. It became obvious that Kat was completely unsuited for household chores and couldn't perform basic domestic duties. The lights in Torres' apartment were constantly on, as the girl practically never slept. She couldn't stand silence, and even while taking a shower, she called Anna to keep her company in conversation. The assistant only managed to sleep when Kat went on dates with her latest admirer. The model would return home late at night or early in the morning and immediately wake Anna up. Torres did everything possible to isolate the assistant from the outside world and didn't allow her to communicate with anyone, even by phone. Anna practically lived in Kat's apartment and worked for her almost around the clock. However, she never received the promised $2,000, the model never paid her for the work. Soon, Anna realized that she was simply being used. Kat skillfully manipulated the girl and had complete power over her. It took the assistant 3 months to escape from this captivity. However, Torres was not going to let Anna go so easily. She constantly called her, sent messages, and begged her to come back. Their communication lasted for about a year. Anna lived in constant fear and pondered how to expose Kat's true face, but she was very afraid to do it. Later, Anna realized that she was one of Kat Torres' first victims. In mid-2022, 32-year-old Kat, along with her 21-year-old fiancé Zach, moved to Texas, where they rented a spacious house with 5 bedrooms. However, after a few months, the couple was evicted for non-payment of rent. Neighbors noticed Kat and Zach carrying boxes filled with broken voodoo dolls and dried herbs out of the house. As it turned out, Torres ordered these goods in large quantities and resold them through social networks. At that point, Kat was already telling her subscribers that with the help of magical rituals, she could heal people from various diseases and ailments. She doubled the price of her consultations and during online sessions, assured clients that she had the ability to communicate with otherworldly entities. To Christians, she said it was God himself, and to atheists, she claimed it was the spirits of ancestors. Sometimes, a few days after the consultation, Torres would contact clients and claim that she heard some kind of supernatural voice. This voice allegedly told Kat how best to act in a particular situation. The girl convinced people that all those who listened to the advice of this voice achieved success and became happy. But those who didn't believe her faced terrible consequences and suffering. Soon, Kat and Zach moved to Austin, where they rented another spacious house. That's when Torres intensified her search for new assistants. Once, with tears in her eyes, she called her Brazilian client Desiree and said, "I feel very ill, my health is deteriorating, and I feel like I'm going to die soon. Please come to me in Austin. I want you to be by my side because I only trust you and Zach." The girls talked on the phone for 2 hours. That same day, Kat bought tickets and Desiree flew to Austin. After that, Torres published a post on social media announcing the creation of her own coven of witches. In addition to Desiree, Kat managed to persuade 2 more of her clients, Letitia and Sol, to move in with her. All the girls were between 18 and 20 years old. As soon as the young beauties crossed the threshold of the house, Torres immediately led them to a special witchcraft room. There was a large altar decorated with candles and icons. Kat would kneel and pray for each client, asking angels for health and prosperity for them. A girl named Sol, who hides her real face, previously worked as a yoga instructor. She came to Kat from Boston after Torres promised to pay her for helping with the business. Sol expected a decent salary, but as a result, she had to work as an ordinary housemaid in Kat's home without receiving a single cent for it. One day, Kat told Sol that she needed to go to a strip club and start dancing on a pole. Torres claimed that this was where Sol would meet her future husband, with whom she would have a long and happy marriage. That's what the same otherworldly voice allegedly said. Sol agreed to this proposal. Another girl, Desiree, came to Kat from Brazil. Torres told her about her experience communicating with the Hollywood elite and lavish parties. She knew famous models who had sex with men for big money. Kat informed Desiree that she had spent a considerable amount on her flight, accommodation, food, furniture, and witchcraft rituals, so now this money had to be worked off. Torres threatened to put a curse on the girl if she dared to escape. Kat persuaded Desiree to get a job at a strip club. The girl gave all the money she earned to Torres. Desiree worked every day and quickly became a popular dancer. "I had to completely undress in front of men and communicate with them. In 2 weeks, I earned $9,000. Kat took all the money and put it in a safe in her room. My passport was also kept there," Desiree said. Torres convinced the girl that she shouldn't carry documents with her so that no one would find out about her Brazilian origin and illegal stay in the United States. Soon, Kat set a daily plan for Desiree. The girl had to earn at least $1,000 a day, otherwise she was not allowed into the house. Several times, Desiree had to spend the night on a street bench. The girl began to get sick often, as she was exhausted both physically and psychologically. She constantly asked Kat when they would finally start doing serious things and business. However, Torres evaded the answer and claimed that Desiree had not yet worked off all the money invested in her. Kat assured that she had to constantly perform witchcraft so that the girl could enter the United States without a visa. Torres continued to live in the same house with her fiancé Zach and 3 assistants, Desiree, Letitia, and Sol. Strict rules applied in this place. The girls were forbidden to communicate with each other, leave their rooms without Kat's permission, say the word "no," and tell anyone about their life under the same roof with Torres. The assistants had to obey all of Kat's orders unquestioningly. Desiree was allowed to stop working at the strip club, but instead, the girl was forced to meet men and have with them for money. The same fate befell Letitia. The first to escape from under Torres' control was Sol. In total, she spent 42 days in Kat's house and was the first to realize what kind of trouble they had gotten into. Sol contacted her ex-boyfriend, who helped her escape. The girl was very afraid that Kat would find her and force her to return, as Torres had copies of Sol's passport and driver's license with all her personal information. In addition, Sol knew that Zach owned 6 guns, so she was seriously worried that he could track her down and harm her. Desiree and Letitia continued to live under the same roof with Torres. Kat registered the girls' profiles on dating sites and forced them to provide escort services. Every day they were obliged to bring Kat $3,000 each. The girls were forbidden to maintain any connection with family and friends. Their families, alarmed by the sudden disappearance of Desiree and Letitia, turned to the police. The parents knew that their daughters had gone to meet with blogger Kat Torres, but after that they disappeared as if they had fallen through the earth. Soon, the news of the disappearance of 2 young and attractive girls spread throughout America. That's when Anna, Kat's first assistant, turned to law enforcement and told them about her life under Torres' control. In response, Kat published a post on her page with threats against Anna. Torres claimed that she sheltered the girl in a rented apartment, and she repaid her with betrayal. Kat urged subscribers to condemn Anna and leave angry comments under the post. Torres promised to turn the traitor's life into a real hell. Anna and Sol filed statements with the police, claiming that Kat forcibly kept them in her house and made them work for free. When Torres realized that law enforcement was interested in her, she forced Desiree and Letitia to record video appeals and posted them on the internet. In the videos, the girls claimed that they lived with Kat voluntarily, admired her, and called her their savior. Both Desiree and Letitia asked relatives not to look for them, not to call, and not to send messages. They claimed that they did not want to communicate with their parents and begged them not to bother them anymore. After watching these videos, the girls' families became even more worried. They were convinced that Desiree and Letitia were in danger and needed immediate rescue. Meanwhile, Kat continued to write threats to Anna and Sol. In addition, she poured dirt on the internet about the father of her fiancé Zach, who was resolutely against Torres. In response, Kat cursed the man and wished him death. Together with Zach and her assistants, Torres moved to the state of Maine. The police began to follow them. Once, officers called Kat while she was riding in a car with Zach, Desiree, and Letitia. Torres was asked if she was holding the girls against their will. "Of course not," Kat replied. The police asked her to come to the station for a conversation. Kat agreed. As soon as she ended the call, Torres began instructing the girls on what to do and how to behave with law enforcement. At the same time, she openly threatened Desiree and Letitia. Kat had no idea that at that moment, the girls were secretly recording the conversation on their phones. The next day, Kat appeared at the police station in Maine with her assistants. Desiree and Letitia behaved very reservedly and remained silent most of the time. Torres told law enforcement about her business, claiming that the girls were her assistants. Kat was sure that she had many envious people who wanted to harm her reputation. It was at the police station that Desiree and Letitia realized that all this time Kat had been manipulating them, forcing them to do indecent things, lie, and completely isolating them from society. The girls told the police the whole truth. Torres was arrested on charges of human trafficking, using slave labor, and fraud in the field of healthcare. 32-year-old Kat was deported to her homeland in Brazil. Torres has been behind bars since November 2022. After her arrest, more than 20 young women claimed that they were victims of deception and manipulation by Kat. Torres herself categorically denied her guilt. She believed that she did not deserve imprisonment and being neighbors with women who had committed 10 to 15 murders each. When I listened to the girls' testimonies in court, I could not understand why they were saying so many lies. I could barely restrain myself from laughing out loud. People claimed that I was dangerous to society, capable of taking over someone else's mind and controlling it. At the same time, these same people called me a fraudster without any super abilities. Isn't that absurd? Kat fumed. Torres added, "For 9 years now, I have been working with people. I have a special gift, an inner voice that I hear. During this time, 14,000 clients have received help from me, including millionaires and real celebrities. But there have always been plenty of envious people in my circle, which I've long been used to. There are people who are deprived of any talents from birth. And there are those like me, gifted in everything. Many have noted my not-so-bad vocal abilities. I know that I will definitely become a famous singer. Fame will catch up with me wherever I am." Kat insisted that she still hears her inner voice and is doing the right thing. She denied that the girls lived with her under the same roof and worked in her house. One of the pieces of evidence presented in court was money transfers from Desiree, Letitia, and Sol to Torres. The girls sent Kat considerable sums. In turn, Torres claimed that she only asked them to lend her money for a taxi. In July 2024, the court found Kat Torres guilty and sentenced her to 8 years in prison. Anna said that for 3 years she had to regularly visit a psychotherapist. She did a tremendous amount of inner work and now can talk about what she experienced without tears or hysterics. Anna feels calm knowing that Kat is behind bars. The girl hopes that her experience will inspire other victims not to remain silent, but to turn to the police and openly share their stories. Brazilian Desiree wrote a book about the horrific period of her life next to Torres. The girl admitted that she still hasn't recovered from that horror. She believes that her story will serve as a warning to many. Kat Torres will be released in the fall of 2030 when she turns 41. The Brazilian court also imposed a lifetime ban on Torres using the internet. The police warn that the popularity of social networks has made them a kind of portal for human trafficking. They have created an extensive communication network that facilitates fraud and crime. Nowadays, deceiving and recruiting a person has become easier than ever. Always remember this and be extremely careful. Dear friends, write your opinion about this case in the comments. Please support my channel, like and subscribe to not miss any videos. Be careful. See you soon.